welcome from wherever you're hailing from on this beautiful planet that we share. We are collectively engaging in a consciousness practice of non-separation, and in that creating a shared human field, but it's a shared human field that is held by, or that is of Earth, that is emergent from Earth, as we are as human beings. We have emerged from the Earth process to becoming the human beings that we are today. And our shared intention to connect with each other and with Earth itself is a very powerful thing. Intention is a creative force, and tomorrow things aren't going to change dramatically and be different, and yet in this practice that we do together, there is a different emergent possibility that is based on non-separation, our deepest connection and interdependence with Earth and with each other. I thought maybe to say something practical about how the day will work.
Maybe just a question. You can hear us well enough right now, Rami?
So I'm hearing Elizabeth very well because the microphone is directed at her. And I heard your question, Thomas. So I did hear it, but it was a bit more quieter.
Okay. Good. We will try.
Try to move it back and forth. Okay, so this is our introductory segment, obviously, and we are very blessed to have with us a video recording of a blessing from a shaman in South America. She is living now in Argentina, but I think she's Quechua and lives in grew up in Bolivia. But we will have that in a few minutes, not right now. But after this, and Thomas is going to share with us something from an unusual source to think about our connectedness with nature and with the planet, and that is St. Francis. And then we will, and then in our second segment, Rami will lead us in meditation instructions, and then we will be sort of move into our stream where we have 3-hour meditation cycles. And in the first hour of each meditation cycle, we will have a spiritual guide or a sacred activist who will invite us to engage in a practice together. It may be a practice of reflection. It may be a practice of prayer. It may be song. And we ask you to fully engage with our speakers, to really let in what they're saying in this meditative field that opens us at a very deep level, to really take in what they're saying. And then for that, in that first 45-minute segment, and then in the next 2 hours, let it go. Let it go into the field of meditation and just be present. So that's our rhythm. We will have a guide for the first part of the meditation cycle. Each segment is 45 minutes with a 15-minute break in between. And and then I guess anything more that you need to know, we will let you know as it happens. I also want to honor our partners in this. In addition to Zen Peacemakers, we have supporting partners are One Meditation Day, who they are hosting the meditation room that we hope will be open to taking more people very soon, and we'll let you know. And Human Online, that's human.online. They are providing us with an open forum during the breaks if you feel that you really need to just engage with someone, to meet another human being face to face in this one-on-one, you're welcome to go to Human Online during the breaks and for 1 minute share presence in silence with another human being.
Let me jump in here. Just for everyone who maybe has heard this Human Online for the first time, it is an amazing practice that you should do anyway. Just use the time. What happens? You end up at a space where you see yourself, and you're waiting for someone else who is somewhere around the globe. And basically, for one minute, their website connects you. You see him or her, and he or she sees you. And there's no sound. We just see each other for 1 minute, and you see the time going. You see the last 10 seconds. Usually, then you say silent thank you. And every time I did this, people I had no idea will never meet, I know I met someone. So I just encourage you to just try, because this is also a very simple, amazing practice to just us see each other as human beings and share minutes with each other. It is very beautiful to do.
Thank you for that's great. Excuse me. I intake too quickly there, but it's another way that we're meeting together, humanity. And I think that that's an important part of all of these ways in the depth of consciousness, in the depth of presence with each other in the meditation field, in a one-on-one contact with another human being, in presence. We're creating and weaving together a collective feel of belonging to Earth.
If I may jump in again?
Yeah.
Just a request for all of you, and it's a very simple request. Be with us. This is really a shared practice, and it's our attitude to be here in an active way, to be and share our humanness together, is something that needs our intention to be, not to consume, to honor each our presence. And in doing that, wherever you are right now, wherever on this globe you are right now, we are creating a field of awareness, a field of bearing witness. And we only can do this together. And I'm very happy that you are here. I'm very happy that we together can create this powerful global spiritual practice. So thank you for being here. And please feel that we are really grateful for that.
It's a gift, this being together, the being that each of us is a gift to everyone else. Thank you. Rami.
My teacher Bernie would speak about his movement from his Zendo practice, and when he was practicing and he was the abbot of Zen Center of Los Angeles, and at one point he was interested in developing what he called collective enlightenment experiences. And that can sound very woo-woo, and it can sound maybe outwardly, and it's actually not. It's very simple. It's something Thomas mentioned about not doing something together. And in a way, we're coming together here with an intention to awaken together. And that weaves into those, what we were using, the bearing witness words that we spoke about and how we call this day. And bearing witness, the way I've heard it from Bernie and the way I'm experiencing it for myself, it's actually it's a very dynamic practice. So on one hand, we're talking about not doing anything. There's a 24-hour where we're really encouraged to just be here. And as we go through the meditation instruction, if anyone has had experience of this before, we know that meditation is actually very active. There's input and data coming through all of our senses. This is what we call bearing witness to all of these different data that's coming in. There's also the aspect of not knowing. And they're never separate. There's never just a practice of bearing witness or just a practice of not knowing. So as we move into this space of connectedness, be mindful of both of these experiences. There will be moments where we will feel this connection. And there will be moments where I will feel inside of me that I need to bear witness to what's happening here and what's happening in my immediate surrounding. And what's really powerful about today is that this is an innovation of how do I do this, being right here in my presence, in my body, in my mind, being aware of my immediate surrounding, and at the same time hold the perception that there are 1,000 people right now in different places around the world who are doing the same thing. And that contributes for me when I do that, when I sit with that and I let my mind that is now a bit more calm and maybe there's a bit more space in it. It may be so spacious actually that I can imagine. Imagination is a powerful thing. And this is not something that we necessarily need to let go of, or, the mind, when it's quiet, it can actually be used. And this is what we'll be doing when we'll be hearing from our presenters. So in the first 44 hours of every block, we'll be infusing our mind with prayers, with chant, with visualizations. They will be watering seeds, beneficial seeds, as we're sitting. And I'm inviting all of us to really just be that soil and just take that water in as we hear Rabbi Jill Hammer give a prayer, or Tani Sarah lead us in a visualization. Just let that wash over you, just like water. And like Elizabeth said, there's no need to hold on to that as we go on in our day. Fully let yourself be immersed in that. And in my Zen training, we'll say that things are dark to the mind and radiant to the heart. So you may hear a voice in your mind that doesn't agree with something. See that, let it go, and come back to being that soil and just be wet by that water. And let your heart hear. And I think it's important, particularly in this hour and the next hour, is as Thomas, Elizabeth, and I were just speaking about how to cultivate this technology before we even plunge into the subject of the day. So this is very important as we move into a intensive contemplative practice today. So there's, I wish to keep the pacing before we even start the rain. Let's check in with our technology. And this we will be doing in the next hour in terms of the meditation instruction. And we'll keep repeating that throughout the day. So you'll keep hearing Thomas, Elizabeth, and I remind us that we're here. We how to hear these words and how to remember this baseline technology of presence. This is both a training opportunity and this is also a being opportunity.
Thank you. And I would like to invite now the blessing for this day and for our work from Sacha Salila, who is a sacred seed keeper of her people. And we're going to, and she and her translator and the woman she works with have brought this to us simply through her smartphone camera. But they wanted so much to be part of this and to join us in this that they're giving us what they can, and I find it very
Want to say
touching.
where she's from?
I said earlier she's Argentinian, but she's a sacred seed keeper of the Quechuan people, and she's in Buenos Aires right now. So if we could have, we're going to have two very short lessons. One is the beginning of her blessing, which is in Spanish and translated into English. And then the second part is a further engagement with the blessing where she speaks only in Quechuan, and that's not translated. But just like what Rami was saying, to allow this, her words, and you can tell by her gestures, you can tell what she's calling in for us. If you can stay with her, allow her. I like the metaphor that you had, Rami, of allow her words and her presence like rain. It's just so cute. As she offers a blessing to Pachamama, to heaven and earth, for the sake of one world being witness belonging to earth. I'm waiting for our tip.
Haili, Halala, Marichueo.
Greetings in different language for the Mapuche, for the Aymara, and for the Quechua people.
Bueno, te ofrezco. Pido permiso en este momento para abrir este rezo.
I'm asking permission at this moment in this place to give this prayer, to give this blessing.
Con las tres hojas que representan al mundo de arriba, al mundo de aquí y al mundo de abajo.
With our sacred coca leaves, which represents the above world, the middle world, the world that we are, and the under, the world of the under.
Que son puentes de aquí. El cóndor, la pluma del ave sagrado.
This is our sacred bird leaf.
Para esta ceremonia pido permiso.
I'm asking permission
para este rezo sagrado.
For this sacred prayer. We ask permission to our sacred bird, the condor.
Madre Tierra,
Mother Earth,
que tú nos acoges Haili, Halaya, Marichuau, Pachamamay, Kai Pitiakushani, Kan Mantaño Kan Munaike, Kan Kicharino Aikita, Kai Hatun Punguta, Purito Kunturmal, Kunina Machula. Mama Coca, kampasuti ko ng si Marisa. Ayarikusak, kaya kuang alim, kay manyakuskay kulin purunas ka ng kupah, patischay ki. Hanah pacha, kay pacha ukupacha. Tukuy, kangkuna, ilatiksi. Kalman nyo ka, kawaita munay kizimarikuy takampah. Nyo kalimpu,
We got cut off a little bit there, but I think that her you can't hear me. I think we got cut off there at the end of her blessing, but I think her intention was clear, and her invocation to the spirits, to sacred coca, to the different levels of being, was very clear. And what we heard is that the video, that the end of the video broke off, it crashed. So I think to hold her gift, as an opening for our event. I'm very grateful for that. We also thought from a really different place to share. Yeah.
Let me explain.
At this point, I think that, we don't usually think about Christianity as a source of connection with the planet, or with nature. It's not usually the emphasis that one finds in the Christian doctrine. But there is one figure that stands out, and that is St. Francis. And that is why our current Pope, I think, took the name St. Francis, because you could say that St. Francis of Assisi was the first environmentalist, and particularly amongst the Christians. But his commitment to the life to life and life forms on Earth was fundamental to his understanding of what it meant to be Christian. So we thought, perhaps since we don't have a priest or monk with us this time, that we would insert St. Francis's Canticle of the Creature. So it's a song to the creatures, and that Thomas will read that.
The Canticle of the Creatures. Most High, all-powerful, good Lord, all praise is yours, all glory, all honor, and all blessing. To you alone, Most High, do they belong. No mortal lips are worthy to pronounce your name. All praise be yours, my Lord. To all you have made, and first, my Lord, brother, Son, who brings the day, and through whom you give us life. How beautiful is he, how radiant in all his splendor. Of you, Most High, he bears the likeness. All praise be yours, my Lord, who sees the moon, and the stars, and the heavens you have made, bright and precious and fair. All praise be yours, my Lord. To brother wind and air, in fair and stormy, all the weather smooths, by which you cherish all that you have made. All praise be yours, my Lord, to Sister Water, so useful, humble, precious, and pure. And all praise be yours, my Lord, to Brother Fire, to whom you brighten up the night. How beautiful is he, how cheerful, full of power and strength. All praise be yours, my Lord, to our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains us and governs us, and produces various fruits with colored flowers and herbs. All praise be yours, my Lord, to those who grant pardon for your lust of you, to those who endure sickness and trial. Happy are those who endure in peace. By you, Most High, they will be crowned. All praise be yours, my Lord, to Sister Death, from whose embrace no mortal can escape. Woe to those who die in mortal sin. Happy those she finds doing your will. The second death can do them no harm. Praise and bless my Lord, and give him thanks, and serve him with great humility.
Part of what we're doing is sharing these very different voices that are speaking to our belonging from different traditions, different contexts, different worldviews, but finding the common denominator of our love of Earth, our recognition of Earth's power, dignity, aliveness, our gratitude for our lives that come from Earth, that this is that each tradition has its own way of creating a space for this. And that's part of what another thing that we're reading together in OWBW.
Just also to share a personal experience, in fact, because Elizabeth and I did have a retreat last summer, in Assisi in Italy. And we experienced how this place being full of spiritual search, spiritual longing for around 1,000 years. How this place is like so many other places around the globe, a place where human spirit is seeking for something, is looking for something. And we have different voices in doing that. There are places in India, there are places in China, there are places in Brazil, in Europe, and all these sacred places, sometimes just mountains by their own grace and beauty, sometimes places like Assisi, created by the spiritual strength of someone who made this place a place. We have all these places around the globe that are expressions of what the depth of our spiritual longing is about, and also to bear witness for the power and the strength of the people, the places, and the whole sphere that we are creating together when we bear witness to this.
Thank you. What I would suggest, if Rami, you agree, is that we take a 10-minute break and then we come back for your meditation instructions. And I'm wondering if we could get back on schedule if you were to take a half an hour for the meditation instructions, and then we'll take our next break at a quarter to the hour. Does that sound good?
That sounds good. If I can just add that, like, just a moment to just acknowledge on the subject of the diversity of the experiences, I want to acknowledge that Thomas, Elizabeth, and I have gone to great lengths to try to bring as many, as hard as it say, to just representations. And it is impossible to represent the entire planet because there are billions of us. And some of us have particular cultures and ethnicities, and we've really tried our best to bring as many of those representatives from around the world. And as you could have seen with the video of the blessing that we saw, some of those were also technologically challenged in terms of how we can connect with people around the world. So please be aware of the both the challenges and also the efforts that we've been trying. And the fact is that we are able to facilitate this from Frankfurt and from New York. And this is just how things allowed to unfold. And we're trying as much as we can to represent as much as possible.
Thank you.
Okay. So would you like me to ring us off, or you asked to take a break? Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah.
Good.
No?
Let's take a break until quarter after the hour.
Great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. So in the next 30 minutes, I will give some basic meditation instructions that can be used as a simple return and a baseline for the rest of the day. And as you notice throughout the time that Elizabeth and Thomas and I were speaking, there was a constant attempt to slow down. So in this next 30 minutes, I really invite you to slow down. And even as I speak, I am slowing down. And as I speak about the method of meditation, and many of you may already have a meditation practice or your own understanding of it, you can listen to what I'm saying in the same way that we spoke earlier about letting things just wash over you. If you find something that I'm saying works for you, take it in. And if it doesn't, let it go. The practice, the essence of it is to constantly and repeatedly let go so we can be really present. And if anything stays, pay attention to it. Attention would be the quality that we'll be cultivating in this 30 minutes, and we'll be returning to it throughout the day. So wherever you are, and if you find a comfortable sitting position, if your body is able to carry that, if your body requires an adjustment, maybe sitting in a different way, do sit, assume a position that you can maintain for at least these 30 minutes. And as we move along in the meditation for this instruction, but throughout the day, the stillness is a guide. So if you feel you need to make any adjustment, be aware of that. But for the next 30 minutes, try to sit in a way that you can maintain just that posture. And the reason that the posture is important is because then we can start pay attention to the nuances of our experience. So as you're sitting, you may have your eyes closed or your eyes open. Either way, it's okay. Remember that right now, what's important is just that you can hear my voice. And you're relaxing into the spaces of silence between my words. And as the instruction continues, there will be more and more of these spaces as we grow in our capacity to just be in this silence. So feel your body sitting on the chair or wherever you're sitting. Notice the points of contact of your feet with the ground. If you're leaning back, the contact with your back and the chair. Your bottom. Notice the pull of gravity. And you may want to make a small circling of your trunk just to get a sense of that gravity, get a sense of that center in your spine. And those circles can come slower and slower into a middle. Your hands can be in your lap. They can be on your knees. There are ways to hold your palms in ways that are called mudras. For example, putting your left palm in your right palm and then having your thumbs, tips touch. It's a very centering mudra, and it's also a good indicator as we sit to notice how it's maintained. But however you choose to put your hands, whether it's in your lap, in a mudra, on your knees, be aware of those and the weight that it has on your body. For just the next few moments, we'll concentrate on just the felt sense of being in our body. If you see your mind wanders or thinks, or maybe a feeling comes out, for the time being, let's just stay in our body. Just that sense of gravity. Just that sense of erectness of our spine. As you see a thought come up, and if you see a feeling come out, at this point, just acknowledge it and bring your attention back to the body. Notice if there's a tone of a pleasant feeling or an unpleasant feeling, or maybe just a neutral feeling But this is not an emotional feeling in terms of feeling sad or happy, or just what is the pleasantness of the sitting in our body, or unpleasantness. Our body is what will carry our attention throughout the day. To bring some gratitude to it. Now take a deep breath and see how that actually affects your body. As you breathe, your chest grows. You may be breathing from your belly grows. How visceral just the breath is. And the breath is always right. It doesn't need to be any other way than what the breath is. If it's short, it's short. If it's long, it's long. A deep breath is not more valuable than a short breath. Let your animal body just breathe, as if you're watching and feeling from the inside of a loving pet or a loving animal that you have in your life. Just be that loving animal to your body. Notice if you're thinking about it. Or maybe you're trying to figure out how the breath is. There's no need for that. You can let that go and just come back to feeling the body, feeling the breath. What we're trying to cultivate here is a feeling way of witnessing. This is not just a witnessing awareness, watching our body. We are feeling it from the inside. Again, notice if there's a sense of pleasure or displeasure, comfort or discomfort. And just like the breath, one is not more valuable than the other. Discomfort is not more valuable than comfort. Pleasant feeling is not more valuable than unpleasant one. If you do feel a specific unpleasant or discomfort and you feel you need to make an adjustment, just be aware of that and do that adjustment mindfully. And use that as an opportunity to look at your experience of your body as you move. And this body, the reason that we are developing this intimacy with the body is because this would be our baseline. We will return to that. You're encouraged to return to this any point throughout the day. is always available. So let's sit just for one more moment before we continue on the instruction. Now turn your attention to an emotion, the emotional field that is experienced in the body. Are you feeling glad? Or is there sadness? Maybe there's confusion. In the same way that you experienced your body and your breath just a moment ago, see those feelings. Feel them. Let the word that you use to describe them dissolve into just that feeling in your body. Oftentimes, feelings just want to be felt. They don't want to be explained. They just want to be felt. So let your body just feel your feelings. If there's a thought that comes up around the feeling or about the process of working with the feeling, just acknowledge it. And for now, just let it go and come back to just the attention to the feeling. Feelings can also be very neutral, meaning they're not pulling us in any certain way. Notice that. Or you may feel numb. Numb too is a feeling. Let yourself feel whatever you feel. Let feeling be feeling. Let the feeling inside the feeling. If for a moment you need to ground yourself back, remember your body. It's right here. It's always available. Oftentimes the feelings are the one aspect of our experience that we want to move through very fast. So let's take another moment, just staying with the feeling. You may want to place your attention inside your body on the level of your heart. And simply notice whether it's open, closed. And now that we have established our connection with our body and our breath and our feeling, let's take a moment and bring your attention to your thoughts and to your mind. Notice if your posture changes because of that shift. Your mind may be very quiet and clear, or you may have thoughts coming. Just the same way that the short breath and the long breath were in no competition to one another and no value of one over the other. See if you can see your thoughts this way. Notice them rising, maintaining energy, and then falling away. If you find your mind thinking fast, let it be fast. While you maintain your awareness in your body, maintaining your posture, letting it go. There may be things that come up with great strength and you feel they ask you to do something. Just acknowledge them. And thank yourself and thank your intention for the time that you've come to join this vigil, that for the time that you're here, your intention will be to return to this presence. So our grounding in our body, in our breath, our awareness of changing of sensations, of feelings, of thought, that grounding and that awareness is your home. simply abide in this home. From time to time, you may want to just check in with points of contact with the floor, with the chair. Extending this home beyond the mind and the heart into your body. This embodied presence is awake. It is not anywhere else. It hears, it sees, it feels. While awareness is maintained. I invite you to return into this home whatever you need today. However inspired you feel, however distracted you may feel any given moment, this being, this presence is available to you. And remember that there are 1,000 people who are doing this with you right now. Right now. People are tending to that intention, this effort, this radical effort to be in presence with you. Feel our support. I have spoken about this meditation as a methodology, but it is really the experience of our divine nature. It is not different than that. It is not a method. It is not a technology. In this moment, you are embodying a divine presence and you're sharing it. So this presence is what we encourage you today to open your heart with, to be devoted to practice. We heard a beautiful poem about praise. Let your attention praise the moment by moment, in its simplicity, its care, its aliveness. May it benefit you and your close ones. May it benefit those who reside in your city, in your county, in your country. in a continent, this whole planet. In a moment, I'll ring a bell, and that will close the meditation instruction this period, and we'll go into a 15-minute of break until the next section starts at the round hour. And I invite you to pay attention to these transitions. We have entered a meditative state right now, and try to carry that throughout your day, but throughout the time that we may call a break, or maybe an unstructured time is a better way to call it. Try to keep that same felt sense, that same thread of awareness throughout. And in the round hour, we'll continue with our first presenter, Rabbi Jill Hammer. So let us plunge, let us continue, and let us bear witness to belonging to Earth.